What's up, guys? It's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to the video on the channel, and we're playing another session at Encore. And first things first, just a huge thank you and shout out to everyone who helped this channel reach 5,000 subscribers. Just crossed that personal milestone 5K mark, so that is amazing and unreal. Honestly, just never thought that when I first made this channel that I could reach have some sort of an influence in the poker community, if I could say that. But I think it's awesome because I started this to learn, and every single one of you guys have been super helpful in the comment section, whether it be supporting the channel, giving me advice on the many different fuck-ups I've made during my hands and during my hand analysis and stuff like that. But it's awesome to document where I started and where I've come now, and I'm getting better every day, ideally, I think. But I just really wanted to get that out there and just thank you, all of you guys, for subscribing to the channel. Secondly, because of that, we're gonna mix things up. We have to doing the bankroll challenge, starting from 1K, and the end goal is probably gonna be 10K, ideally. People have asked me in the comments below, where do you get your bankroll, yada yada yada, all that stuff. And honestly, as a recent college grad, I don't have one. I don't have a bankroll that I should be playing with, so I'm trying to get better at that. So this is going to be a way, for one, to help me personally manage my bankroll. Secondly, so you guys kind of follow along as well, follow the journey, and I'll keep you guys updated as it goes. So we're going to play some 1-3. Moving forward, I don't have a bankroll at all. It's just a 2-5 bankroll. So we're going to play 1-3, start with $1,000. It's only about 3 buy-ins, which isn't a lot at all, but hopefully we can grow that into something bigger, hopefully 10K. If that's what we can achieve, then I don't know what the goal is yet. I don't know what's gonna happen when I reach 10K, but I know for a fact that I can make that happen. But anyways, that's the goal, 10K bankroll challenge. Let's get it. Let's start today, start new, and get out of this funk that we're in. For some hands, so let's get into them. We waste absolutely no time getting involved, as we usually don't have a problem doing. Our very first hand we take a look at, we have ace queens of spades and under the gun +2. So I open up to $15 and we get 3 callers. We get the button and the blinds to call. So let's go 4 ways to this flop in middle position, kind of. Flop comes Jack 6-3 rainbow. Pretty dry nonetheless. Not the best board I could ask for, but still got 2 overs here. And the backdoor flush draws. So I see bet $35 and fold all the way back to the small blind who makes the call. So we're going to go heads up to a turn, which is the 9 of hearts. Doesn't really change too much here. He checks. It does have the backdoor flush draw, but I fire $75. I didn't really see how short he was because he calls for less, which is unfortunate. Thought I could barrel him off, but I just didn't see he was that short. So he calls for $68, and we're just going to go to a turn, hoping to improve our hand, knowing that we're totally behind. River is a 4 of hearts, brings in the backdoor flush draw. I show ace high, and he shows 9-10 of spades. So I don't know what in the world he was calling with on the flop. Next hand, we have 4-5 of diamonds in the cutoff. We've chipped up a little bit. And under the gun +2 opens up $10. Middle position player, the player from last hand, makes the call. And I am going to 3-bet to $40 here. If you watch my videos and you've seen my videos in a long time subscriber, you know that, most of my 3-betting range is usually just aces and kings, I'm just really opening it up here. No, I'm not. But both players make the call, non-believers here. And let's go 3 ways to a flop in position of Queen Jack 7 rainbow. Honestly, pretty good board for me. Checks to me, and I am going to fire $75. The pre-flop razor folds, and middle position player from last hand, he thinks for a longer time than usual, the longer time than normal, I think, and then makes the call. So knowing that he's pretty weak, knowing that he can absolutely fold whatever holding he has, like middle pair or whatever, and or a weak queen, like queen 10, I think can fold in this hand too. Turn is a 3 of clubs, brings in the backdoor flush draw. He tank checks. So that's weird. I think tank checking here just gives up a way too much information and just really exploitative when I can just easily jam here. I'm going with it. He has a pretty short stack, so I jam 160-ish effective. He tanks once again for a while before making the fold. I show the bluff. Now, after showing the bluff, it's really not great because I've shown the only 2 hands that I've played so far was ace queen that didn't connect in 4-5 suited. So you got to be a little cautious here because I know people here don't really like to fold, but got to show the bluff when I just jam with 5 high. Few orbits later, we have ace queen offsuit in the small blind here. Early position player opens up to $15. The button calls, and out of position here, up to my 3 betting tactics again. I go with the sizing of $40. Early position makes the call, and the button folds. So let's go heads up to a flop of king 8-4, 2 hearts out there. Really good flop for me as I have all the kings in my range as a 3 better. So I'm for out of position, which is unfortunate, but I'm going to lead out for $60. He thinks for a little bit and makes the call. So we're going to go heads up to a turn, which is the 4 of diamonds. Doesn't change a whole lot at all, I don't think. I'm going to keep on barreling here. So I bet 125. He ends up tanking for quite a while, maybe like a minute and a half to 2 minutes, and decides to call. So I feel like he's being really sticky. I think a king doesn't really tank call this ever. So putting him on either a draw or like pocket tens or something like that. So when the river is a 9 of diamonds, doesn't actually change anything at all. I decide to go with the sizing. I just have the triple barrel here on this spot regardless of whatever the river was. I decide to bet 175. It is super small, but looking like I'm just repping the king, obviously. I think if he's trying to hold on and putting me on a flush draw, then I think me jamming here just doesn't make a lot of sense. In addition to that, if I have the wrong read, a king will never fold to any bet regardless. So I go with 175, leaving myself about like 110-ish behind. There's no reason to punt off the rest of the 100 if I want to jam. It just makes a lot of sense for all those reasons. Like if he's holding on to pocket tens, like it's an easy fold. If he has a king, he's calling regardless. Misdraw, easy fold. So really just more of a protector bet, but looking like a ton of value. He tanks before making the call. I show ace high, and he shows pocket sevens. So we got hero down there. Good call by him. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. The very next hand I looked down at ace 10 of hearts on the button with only like 110 in my stack, which isn't great. I just wasn't able to add on fast enough, but there's a limper to me. I open up to $15. The big blind here now 3 bets to 50. Folds all the way back to me. It's an easy spot. Like I mean, one, he just made it. I just got hero called for a pretty big pot, and he 3-bet to half my stack. So I'm gonna go with it here. I jam, snap called by him. He chose pocket jacks, and the run out is 6, 7, 8, 5, 9. Yeah, we get there. Sorry, Levi. Shout out to you. That sucks. I told them it was just like the dirtiest of suckouts, but. We got there, and we have a quick little double up after the ace-queen hand. Following that, we are on the button again with queen-jack offsuit. Under the gun decides to limp. The player with a 2K stack raises it up to $20. He's in the cutoff here. I decide to flat here, and let's go heads up to the flop of king-queen 5, 2 hearts. He checks to me, middle pair. I think I'm good here a lot of the time. He has all the draws in the world, and I've seen him check a ton when he has a bunch of equity. So I'm going to bet for value here for $20. He makes the call. Turn here is the ace of diamonds. Not the card I want to see, obviously. So when he checks to me, I'm happily going to check this back. I don't think I'm good here ever now with the ace. River is the 7 of diamonds. He checks really quickly. Obviously, happy to check it back. He shows the nuts, jack 10 offsuit. So we lose that one. Back to the button because we actually want to play in position here in this session. We have king queen of clubs. There's 3 limpers to me. I raise it up to $23. The small blind cold calls, and an early position player who limped calls as well. So let's go 3 ways to the flop here of a pretty bloated pot, to be honest. Flop comes 10, 7, king, 2 clubs out there. What a beautiful flop for me. And small blind, he checks in the dark before the flop came out. Early position now just leads out and jams $40 total. Amazing flop for me. There's no way that I can ever raise out because I want the small blind in there, obviously. So I just flat here, and small blind comes along as well, and he has a pretty decent size stack. So looking to get things in. When the turn comes the ace of diamonds, though, holy shite, that's probably the worst card in the deck. That's literally the worst card in the deck, and not great especially when the small blind leads out for 110. It's so stupid, and he only has about like 120 behind, so I lied. He didn't have a big stack, but still, that's just the worst card I could ask for. And I just fold face up because small blind watches the channel, so shout out to you, Tori. River is the 5 of diamonds. He shows queen jack suited of spades, and he takes it down. So shout out to you, Toby, for getting there, and nice hand over there too. But man, I'm getting my ass kicked and handed to me in this session, and I'm not feeling great. Just like people getting there on me, and not running well at all for this first half of the session. In Under the Gun +2, we look down at pocket kings. So great hand to open up to $15 with. Player to my left, and the big blind calls. So let's go 3 ways to this flop of jack 5 deuce 2 spades. Action checks to me. I am going to c-bet $25 here. Player to my left calls, and the big blind folds. So heads up to a turn, which is a deuce of spades. Not great at all. Not loving to see the flush get there. So I check, and he checks it back. River's a 7 of spades, so this is beautiful. Awesome. And I don't have a spade in my hand, so this is like even great, even better. I check. He bets $30. I just after the last 2 hands of just other people getting there, I just decided to punt off the $30 because I didn't care anymore. So I call. I literally just put the chips next to his stack. I called, and he has queen 10 of spades, so he already got there, and takes me to Value Town with the $30. So nice hand. Next hand we find ourselves involved in, we have pocket 9s in the big blind with $300. The cutoff opens up to $11. Button, who is a pretty huge stack, the guy who had 2K in front, calls. And I decided to just flat here. I think I 3-bet this sometimes, but just given how I'm running, we're just going to flat and see how it goes. Flop comes ace 10 9 rainbow. There's a set, bottom set for us. We love this board. I am first to act, not betting here. I check, and the cutoff checks as well. And the button bets a bet of $10. Not the sizing I wanted to see, obviously. With him having such a huge stack, I'm just trying to get stacks in. So, but I just can't really over-rep my hand too much. So I decided to flat, and the cutoff just calls. So we're still only go 3 ways to the turn, which is the 3 of spades. Brings in the backdoor flush draw, and I'm assuming someone's going to continue here a lot. So there's no there's no reason for me to lead out and bet here. So I check, and it action checks to the button again, who bets $50. Time for me to raise things up here. He bet so large, so I know that he's definitely going to be going with his hand a lot of the time, especially when I am just so short. I raise it up to 150. The other guy gets out of the way and actions onto the button, who thinks for a little bit, and he decides to jam since I only had about 100 behind. Snap call by me, and he says he has 2 pair. I show my set. Let's go to the river, which is a 7. And we take it down. He said he had ace 10, and I'm happy to take it down in that cooler spot. Finally something going my way, and finally a double up. Let's do this. Next hand, we are in middle position with aces. Wow, things are just looking up again. So I opened up to $15, and only the cutoff calls. So with aces, looking to build on my stack. Let's go. Instead of running bad, let's run good a little bit. Flop comes queen deuce 3 rainbow. Beautiful flop. I c-bet $15. I mean, I could check this a lot of the time, but at the end of the day, the main point is that if I'm c-betting every single flop, I better c-bet the flops where I'm nutted on. So and he quickly makes the call. I think get calls from pocket 9s and up to a queen. So turn is a 6 of clubs. Bringing in another backdoor flush draw. I am just going to keep on pumping the gas. We size up to $40. He makes the call again. River is a 7, probably the best run out I could ask for, to be honest. Super safe. I size to $85 going for value. I think it's big enough where I get value, easy value from a queen, and also, you know, just make the pocket tens of the world think. So he ends up tanking and ending up calling. We show it down and we're good. So things are looking up. They're getting better right now. Last hand that we'll go over, we have kings in the small blind. Hijack raises the $11. The cutoff calls. Kings out of position. I 3-bet to $45. The action's back in the hijack, and he ends up sizing and 4-betting me to $125. The cutoff folds, and action's onto me. I have never seen this player ever 4-bet, ever play a hand like this whole time. He's been sitting down, I think, for like maybe an hour or so, and I just didn't see him raise or anything. So it's really interesting because I know that he was playing fairly tight or just super card dead. I mean, I really thought about folding pre here, but just given how bad I've been running, like I'm like, yeah, I could just easily fold here and move on. But it's kings, and he only has about $200 behind as well. So I mean, if I call this bet, then he's gonna jam on anything, and we're just gonna be committed to call. So at the end of the day, I did not decide to be a total nit and just flat here, keeping, I guess, some of his very light 4-bets in his range. We'll see. So we're going to go heads up to this flop. I don't really like this spot, to be honest. Flop comes Jack 5, 8, 2 clubs out there. What am I, like, really? It's just the perfect flop for kings. And I am out of position. I check. He shoves. And I think for, like, 50 seconds maybe, and I'm just like, really, am I gonna fold this? Like, can I make this hero fold? And at the end of the day, like, I don't know, I just had a really bad feeling about it. So I mean, I announced that I had kings, and it's like, I really want to fold kings, but at the end of the day, I made the right call, because he has ace queen offsuit. Runout is the queen of clubs, which was a huge sweat because he didn't show at the time. I probably shouldn't have told you. I should have made you sweat, because the runout was the queen of clubs, literally the worst card I could ask, where the flush gets there and pocket queens gets there. Like, those are like the two things I would ever put him on. And it's a brick. He shows ace queen, and we scoop it somehow, some way. We found the call. I know I sound like a super nit, but when you're running so bad, like, I think I could have folded. I really, really thought about folding kings pre there, but I mean, once I called, I kind of have to call on that board. So that's how that hand went. Normal outro, back in the parking garage of Encore here, and played for 5.5 hours-ish. Hopefully this music isn't copyrighted. I really hope this doesn't pick up all the music, but played for 5.5 hours, in for 700, out for 1035, so finally, holy shit, it's been a while since I've had a winning session, so we'll take that for sure. You guys see how bad I run though, like, it's not good. Like, the way I run, even today, like, I was super surprised to be up. It took maybe like 3 hands to come out of the hole that I put myself in, but at the end of the day, we're green, so it's a good start to the bankroll challenge. We are up $300. So we have like $9,700 more to make it. So anyways, hopefully you enjoyed. I'm gonna leave some graphics. I'm gonna try and make like an Excel sheet graph or something to track my progress on this challenge, because I really want to make this a thing and really commit to it, because I need to do a lot better with my bankroll building. But anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And also, if you're watching this, Scott, huge shout out to you that I just met. I really appreciate the support from you guys and really everyone. So thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.